prior to this game, there's going to be moments where we can maybe go outside of 20 minutes, and tonight was the night we could do it. I thought, he is a calming force out there. I thought, Vooch had some opportunities early, later in the fourth quarter, and he missed them around the rim. We got it to him there. Zoe was a big part of that, but I like the shots that we got. Obviously, he made a huge three late. But, overall, I really felt like, just his calm, his poise, his understanding on both ends of the floor is just really good, and I thought he certainly helped us close the game.
To that point, you kind of talked about trying to find Vooch down low in some of those post-ups, and then he gets that bucket, like, right down in the end of the clutch.
Yep.
Just where do you feel like that efficiency was at compared to the last time that he was out there where you guys weren't able to find him as much?
It was much better. Now listen, we got it to Vooch, and I thought Vooch had some bunnies around the basket. He just didn't finish like that. There was 3 or 4 of them that I don't know, it was right around the rim. He just didn't make them. That's okay. That was the right play, and we got it to him in a good area. There was a couple of that we turned over. Like, Julian had one where he's trying to post feed where when it's thrown to you, it's got to go immediately inside, or you can't stare it down, because then they start working around and they get in front. And then we turned it over another time. We threw a pass from the top, and we've got to be able to execute that better. I thought when we got deeper into the fourth quarter, I thought we did do that. Now the miss or make part on Vooch, we're going to live with those shots with him shooting the ball there. But I thought he was really involved. He took threes tonight. He did have some plays in the pocket, and then we found it around the rim as well. And he had some dribble drives getting to the rim.
Kobe has been just on a little bit of kind of a shooting slump here lately.
Yeah.
How do you feel like you can maybe get him a little bit more involved, especially if Zach is in and out?
Yeah. I tried to do a couple things ATO-wise for him, and sometimes when stuff gets blown up or it's not open, it's hard. He's got to get it a lot of times off ball. They were switching a lot tonight. They're a very good defensive team on the perimeter. They're very athletic and active. But he hasn't shot the ball well, but every time he shoots, I feel really good about it. You know what I mean? And he's going to have to find it in transition. I thought he got to the rim a little bit tonight. He had a big basket, where he turned the corner and got downhill. But yeah, I think the off-ball stuff is really where he's got to find it and where he's got to get it. It's kind of like what I talked about with Vooch. He ends up getting it through the flow of the offense. I think Kobe will continue to, if we can get stops and we can run a little bit more and get out in transition, I think he can get it in the flow of the offense.
One last one for me. In terms of big picture, you guys are on the longest streak in, I believe, Bulls history in terms of three-pointers made, making 10 or more. How do you feel like this team has kind of settled into this identity of being pass first and being able to look for these things?
Yeah, I love the way these guys are trying to play. I like the unselfishness. I like the shots that we're generating. There's one thing to be able to say, hey, we want to take more threes, right? And then if you sit there and say, okay, we're just going to take all these threes, and then you look down through the analytics and the majority of your threes are highly contested or they're bad shots, what does that mean, right? So it's like, how can we do it? So I just appreciate the way the guys have kind of, really have pushed the pace, played fast, gotten the ball up and down the floor. And in the way when they've gotten to the teeth of the defense, they've tried to, make the right decision, right play. That's been, quite honestly, one of our problems, is we're turning the ball over a lot because our guys are unselfish and they're trying to make plays. And we'll continue to get better and learn from that. But their commitment to trying to play this way, I think, since training camp's been really good, and I really appreciate the work that they've put in to do that.
Coach, just a quick one. RJ Barrett, you've been in the league for his whole career, and what do you make of sort of his development in Toronto, and what challenges did he present going up against him?
I think when he came into the league, obviously very, very strong left-hand dominant driver, and was a guy that I think probably physically could overwhelm people at the basket, throughout most of his career. And I think, you get up to the NBA, there's an adjustment period where some of those things are a little bit more difficult. I give him a lot of credit. I think his three-point shooting has drastically improved throughout his career. I think when he gets into the paint, he's really making good decisions of how to draw fouls and how to get, shots up on the glass. And then if he doesn't have it, finding open people. I think that comes through experience. But I think he's way more well-rounded right now as an offensive player than what he was his first year or two in the league.
Thanks, Coach.
Okay, thank you.
On the other side.